What's going on, fam? This is Wildman Willis, and I'm doing my reviews of the summer movies and some nerd or geek rants while I'm at it. Well, the first movie we're gonna start talking about is the first of the summer blockbusters, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I felt Andrew Garfield played a better Peter Parker and Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire. He had the whips, and the action was pretty good. I didn't mind Jamie Foxx's Electro. That was a cool way to have a new character. He doesn't really have a backstory really to begin with, so it's good that they put their own twist on the backstory. I know a lot of people was bitching, well, this ain't how it is in the comic book. Ride a Rhino is only in the movie for 4 minutes. I guess a lot of people don't really pay attention to reading comic books, because sometimes you do have book-end characters that might start the story in the beginning but not might be through the whole book. So this is what they setting up for the sequel, but the movie didn't make enough money domestically for them to rush to make another sequel. I don't know. I still feel that Marvel needs to get that property back, but that's just me. But people complain of it's not the Spider-Man that they used to, this and that and the other. Well, times change. Get over it, nerds. The next movie that I'm bringing up for the summer release was the most hated, but guess what? It's the #1 movie in the world right now, box office wise, Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. Everybody's complaining about the Dinobots. Well, you wanted Dinobots, you got Dinobots. They might not look the way they do in G1. None of the characters look like G1. You gotta understand, this is 2014, not 1984. You can't have them looking like the way they was in 84. The Transformers have evolved over time. I don't understand. People don't realize that it's all different artists' interpretations of many of these characters throughout the years. Batman doesn't look the same from 1939, from what he looked like in 1950 to 1970 to even 1992 to now New 52. So you gotta understand, you have to make the movie for a wide audience. You can't make it just for the die-hard fans. You have to make it for everybody to enjoy. I enjoyed the action, the Transformers. I enjoyed the twists and turns. I'm glad that they actually gave some kind of edge to Optimus Prime, and it was interesting to see Galvatron in the movie, even though he's not the Galvatron we used to, but at least they got Frank Walken back as the voice of the original Megatron from the old cartoon, as well as he did the voice for the original Galvatron for the TV show, not the movie. That was done by Leonard Nimoy. Then we get to Guardians of the Galaxy, Hooked on the Feeling. To me, this is the best movie out of the summer. It was a surprise hit. I was surprised how good it was. Hopefully Star Wars used some of that template in this movie that was lacking in the prequels, because the prequels didn't seem as much fun as the original 3 movies. So Guardians put that fun back, so hopefully some of the creators of the new Star Wars movie will look at that and say that you couldn't put the fun back into Star Wars. And it seems like it's going that way with the new Rebel show that's coming out in October. Next movie on the docket is Godzilla. This was much better than that abomination that came out back in the 90s with Matthew Broderick. He's not even really considered Godzilla, he's just considered Zilla. I know a lot of people were like, they ain't showing enough Godzilla. He should fight Rodan and such and such and such and such. You gotta understand, some people had never seen a Godzilla movie back in the day. There's a whole generation that might not even really know about Godzilla, so you have to reintroduce him back into the pop culture. He's been gone for a while for some people. It's just the die-hard fans. It seems like it's always the die-hard fans that make the most noise about everything. I don't understand the logic in that. Just enjoy these movies as what kind of art they is, if they're worthwhile. I can understand that you don't like them, but you don't have to really trash them as bad as you do. Even though I did feel like Aaron Johnson was kind of dry in the movie, but that's, I don't know. That's just him. And usually any Godzilla movie you watch, the human always seems to end up where Godzilla at. That's just one of the tropes. I understand a lot of people was complaining about Bryan Cranston being in such the movie in a short little time. But if you know anything about movies, if you see any movie that just says and such and such actor in the movie, that means they normally just have a bit part in the movie. They're not going to be through the movie all the way. We had to establish that what type of Godzilla this is, so when they do all the monster fighting and stuff, it will make more sense because people will be acclimated to those characters in that type of world. So wait and see. Now we're gonna go into Planet of the Apes prequel, The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This movie was cool, action-packed. I enjoyed it very much. It had a nice little story to it, but my only problem about the movie is all it is a more better version of one of the most hated Planet of the Apes of the movies, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, which was the last one of the original saga, which was the worst one out of the set to a lot of people. But this is basically the same movie. If you look at these back to back, you'll see several similarities. There's too many to talk about, but of course Andy Serkis kills it, and a lot of other people that help bring these animals to life on the screen were picture perfect. So I ain't no complaint about the movie. It was action packed, and we're gonna go to one more movie. We're gonna bring up Expendables, and oh yeah, I forgot, we gotta bring up Ninja Turtles, the new Ninja Turtles. I know a lot of people complain about they don't look like the turtles that I'm used to. La 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 la. Michael Bay ruined everything. La 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 la. I can't tell that Michael Bay ruined everything and all the stuff, because people sure do complain about these movies, but you see how much they made in the box office, so somebody liking them somewhere. And this is a way that introduced Ninja Turtles to a new generation. The Ninja Turtles had not been anything like they were in their original comic book in any other media since they've been out, even since the original cartoon. The only thing that came close was the original movie, because it had a darker tone, and then parents complained about that and ruined the second movie because they were saying it was too violent for kids and stuff. But I'm glad the director that made that first movie took a chance and did what they did. This only other problem about the Ninja Turtles movie was the plot was too much similar to Amazing Spider-Man 1 that came out a couple of years ago. But that downhill chase in the snow was excellent. They could have did a little bit more with the Shredder, but he was fine. At least he said the classic line, "I dine on turtle soup," so that was kind of cool. And we gonna bring up Expendables 3. This movie was watered down a lot. I guess you add too many people into the mix, it kind of ruins everything. You can't have all that movie in there, because a lot of people come bit players in the movie. And plus, the internet ruined it because somebody got a hold of it and it got downloaded over 3 million times. So that kind of killed the box office too. So I think a lot of word of mouth came out, and plus that PG-13 rating didn't help. But it probably do better once it come out on DVD and Blu-ray. People might buy it. So my suggestion is take your time and look at all these movies with an open mind, more than just going in bitching and complaining about this is not my childhood. The childhood is done. We're all grown up. We have to look at it like this. This is made for more than one generation of people. This is Wildman's Willis' rant and review of the summer blockbuster movies. See you next time.